Hello. How is everybody doing? It is Tuesday, and I wanted to hop on here and just kind of connect with you guys a little bit. And I have some super interesting, I guess I don't know if I would call it news or what I would call it, but that I experienced when I was on vacation in Florida. So that was cool. It's about Jesus, which is kind of crazy. And then I have some cards that I'm going to pull for you guys. So what I'm going to do right off the bat before we even get started is show you cards, have you pick in your mind whether you want 1, 2, or 3, okay? You might even, say out loud or say in your mind a question that you're wanting to get an answer to. And, yeah, that might help you. So this is card number 1, okay? See if that resonates with you. This is card number 2 from the angel deck. And this is card number 3 from the fairy deck. So I will hold all of those up so that maybe you can see if one in particular resonates more with you. And before we get off of here, I'll reveal those and show them and see if maybe that brings you some peace or an answer or guidance or something, whatever it is that you're looking for. So we have a really cool class getting ready to come up for children, which is the first. Never done that before, but I think it's beyond necessary and has been a long time coming. It's a children's psychic / mediumship class. So I touched briefly a couple videos ago on what exactly it was. And basically, the cool thing about this is it's $25 a ticket, but 100% of the proceeds are going to the Ukraine relief effort. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. But you just need to buy 1 ticket. It's per child. So it's not, you don't need to buy a ticket for you or your spouse. It's just 1 per child. And yeah, we're going to do some interesting things. Talk a little bit about intuition, have them maybe share some of their stories. Even if, they're 4 and they're not quite verbal enough, 4 or 5, because it only goes from 4 to 8, so that's a pretty small window. And I think that that's a good age group to have, good ages to have them all together. I think the 8-year-olds won't be too advanced for the 4-year-olds. The 4-year-olds won't be too behind for the 8-year-olds. I think it'll be great. Anyways, both of my children will be there, and we're going to, we'll talk about warning signs and things that aren't normal. We'll talk about things that are normal. When you should seek help, if you're thinking that something is negative, when to just kind of let things unfold naturally. We will have my dear friend Chantel Renee will be there, and she is a hypnotist, and she also works with attachments and removal of attachments. So it's going to be amazing to have her there on hand, because if you are concerned about your child displaying something negative, or just concerned in general, she'll be able to kind of sit with you and discuss whether or not this is normal and not a big deal, or if maybe divine intervention is needed on her part. I do plan on reading one of my favorite children's books. It's called The Next Place, and basically this is just an amazing book that talks about the other side and what to expect when we go. It's very gentle. There's nothing negative or dark in it. There's no deep religious references, so it's really great to go along with anybody, no matter whether you're Catholic, Lutheran, spiritual, pagan, it doesn't matter. It's a really great book for kids. So I will be reading that as well, and like I said, I'll have my kiddos there too, so they're pretty excited to have the opportunity to see other people like them, and my little sassy London can't wait to help teach the class. That's what she thinks she's going to do. Yeah, so we do have a lot of events coming up. Probably the most events that we've had since COVID, which is awesome. I'm so thrilled to finally be back to where we were, pre-2020. June 12th, we have Kirksville. That event is actually almost sold out. So if you're hoping to get into Kirksville, and these are all the last events of the year as far as places go. So like we won't be back to Kirksville until 2023. Springfield, Illinois is July 23rd. September 17th is Springfield, Missouri. That is a new one, and I'm super stoked about visiting there. Another new one is Nashville, which is October 15th, and I cannot wait to go there. November 12th is St. Louis, and the 26th of November is Chillicothe, which is also, we are selling insane amount with Chillicothe. So if you are interested in coming to that show late fall, I would say go ahead and get your tickets to that one because it'll probably sell out like last time. I'm hoping to look into Iowa. If you guys have any suggestions, we've been to Ottumwa, we've been to Des Moines, and we've been to Centerville, I think it was. So we might be looking at Burlington. I'm not really for sure yet where in Iowa. But if you have suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments and help us out there. Super cool story. I was on vacation with my friend Chantel, and she and I got to talking about something that's kind of been on my mind a lot lately. I've been told several times by my guides that I'm supposed to start working more with an Ascended Master. And I thought, well, if you want me to work with an Ascended Master, you need to tell me who it is. And I keep getting Jesus over and over and over again. And I thought that maybe this was just because, Easter was approaching. Maybe it's because Jesus is really the only Ascended Master I'm familiar with. I grew up Lutheran, so pretty close there. But there was this resistance in me to work with Jesus. And I thought, this is weird because, Jesus is amazing. And he should be someone that I am extremely comfortable working with. But instead, I was nervous to work with him. I was scared because, simply because I was doing to Jesus what Jesus followers have done to me, and that's judge me. I was judging the fact that, he's a part of the Bible, and in the Bible it says not to work with prophets and mediums, so maybe he, is against this. I was also nervous that maybe he would try to make me see the Christian side of things and pull me away out of what I'm doing. And I absolutely love working for the spirit world. So I was just really nervous that he was going to do some of these things, and that maybe that would change who I was or what I was doing. And so I had a lot of resistance. And then I sat down in meditation, and he came to me and he said, "You're doing to me exactly what other people are doing to you. You're judging me based on what you know about me from a book, which is it. It's all you know. And you're assuming that I'm going to be a negative influence or maybe positive, but take you in your career in a completely different direction." And that was a serious, that was a big moment for me because I had worked so hard to try and justify why I do what I do, and how what I do is of light and love and peace, and there's nothing negative about it. And for me, for a while, Jesus kind of stood, not necessarily in the way, but he stood as a reminder that what I do in his big important book, the Bible, basically says that you shouldn't connect with me. So Yeah, I got knocked down a peg by Jesus, and we had a nice long conversation, and I still can't wrap my mind around it. I almost feel like, I'm sure some of you are thinking, oh my God, she has went off the deep end. But I have not, and I'm super stoked to work with Jesus. I think that we forget that he is this incredible ascended master. Um, he's not just a symbol for Christians. He's just an incredible ascended master, and so I'm super stoked to start working with him by my side, and I cannot wait to see what else comes from working with him. I'm looking on my phone, looking at some of the comments. Let's see, Jeanette. I was just going to ask about anyone having Jesus come through like this. How cool is that? Yeah, so he did, and he does. And Chantel actually works with Jesus a lot, often. And so to her, it was no big deal. But here's where this story gets super cool. She and I were talking, and I was telling her, I know that I'm supposed to be working with an ascended master. The only one that I'm familiar with is Jesus. And kind of explaining my resistance. And we're in this beautiful tropical, setting in Florida, and watching our littles swim. And all of a sudden, in the sky, and this is going to be backwards to you, but in the sky, a plane wrote "Praise Jesus," and the sign could not have been more clearer that that was who I was supposed to be working with. So I let down all my walls, and I let him in, and it's been really, really cool. Basically, all that he asked me to do was to read. He said to give as many readings as humanly possible. And he's not just talking about the scheduled ones when I'm working. He's talking more or less out and about, no charge, just this is coming to me, hey, random person, this is what I'm picking up on, which makes me very nervous. That's not the way that I was taught, but I trust him and his guidance, and he said that the main reason that he wants me to do this is to help bring peace and closure to the world, and if we can get every single one of the mediums out there to do that, we can get a little bit closer to that. So I'm all for it. I'm stoked. I'm just gonna listen and do whatever I'm told to do, as long as it's coming from a place of love and light. I'm down for it. So Sheila, I feel all things, but don't know what things mean or how to interpret negative to positive and trust what goes on around me. That's a really good question, Sheila. A lot of people feel that way. So one way that I would describe getting information or downloads would be, usually these are going to come in when they're from your higher voice. They're going to come in from a place of warmth and love, contentment. Sometimes even the scariest downloads I've got come through. I feel the anxiety, but I feel warmth and I feel comfortable, and it's just very bizarre. But you're usually going to feel kind of that tingly, everything's okay feeling. When things come to you that are negative and they don't have anything to do with your higher voice or with the divine, it's going to come across fearful, scary, oh my gosh, just pure anxiety, no warning, and things are going to really fit together well when they come through your ego, okay? So when they come through, they're going to all make sense because you're coming up with this in your mind. This is your ego. But when you get a message or a download from the universe or your angels or guides, it's going to come from a place of warmth and love, and it's going to be a little spacey. There's going to be a lot left out where you either have to make the connection or just wait until that thing happens, and then you have your answer. So I hope that gives you a little bit of help when it comes to interpreting your messages. So in the beginning, I had you guys pick a card, okay? This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay, I'm going to, for the newbies that just hopped on, because there's been like 20 of you, go ahead and pick one of those cards, okay? And then I will explain the meanings, and I'll show them to you one more time. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. All right, are we ready? So the first card, if you pick number 1, is pretty darn simple, and I think this happened last time. And I still went with it, because if it comes out, that's what you're supposed to see. So who picked 1? Post your numbers for me. Who picked 1? I'm trying to see if I can find anybody that actually picked 1 so I can talk to you. But I'm not seeing anybody. Okay, well, number 1, pretty cut and clear. It's a big N-O. No. So, whatever you're trying to decide, whatever decision you're having trouble making, whatever you're not clear on, number 1, if that was your card, the answer is no. Either don't do it, or it's not a good idea, or you know, your guides are trying to bring that to you for some reason. So keep that in mind. All right, number 2 is the 2 of water. Okay, and this card is all about forgiveness, a relationship kind of mending, or even sometimes resurgence in the same relationship. So, you know, if you've been in this relationship for a really long time and it feels like things have gotten, you know, in a dark place, this card kind of brings about hope that forgiveness is on its way, and you will be experiencing that soon. Positive resolution of conflict is also associated with the 2 of water. So if you're in a position where you're having a debate or an issue, or you're not getting along with someone, just know that that's all going to clear up soon if you pick number 2. All right, number 3. Oh my gosh, everybody was 3. There's so many 3s. So this is interesting. This one is the 7 of spring, and this card is all about being more assertive. Speaking your mind and making sure that you're standing up for what you want and not necessarily trying to please everybody else. If you picked number 3, this card is coming to you to basically tell you you've done enough, well done, now it's time for you to put yourself first, okay? And I also feel kind of I feel like I want to talk about one facet of this card, because there's tons of different ways that this card could play into, you know, relationships, work, career, anything. But for some reason, I'm drawn to talk about the career side of this card, and the fact that I feel like if you are experiencing an issue work-wise, if you're having trouble standing up for yourself, this card is here to tell you, stop. You have every right in the entire world to put yourself first, and it's okay to do that. So don't let anybody make you feel bad for trying to do that, okay? I'm going to go back through here, and I love some of your comments. They crack me up. And I think I tell you guys this every single time, but I have to watch on my phone because I can't see the comments on my computer when I'm doing this. So hello, 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 everybody. Oh, man. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Hi, Adrian. Okay, so let's see here. I think pretty much everybody's good. I don't have any questions or anything that I think I'm missing. Do you ever come near Columbia or Jeff City? Sheila. Again, hi, Sheila. Yes, actually, I have 2 shows planned, and they have not been released yet because for Columbia, because that's all on the Blue Note. But the first show is June 11th, so 6/11. That will be at the Blue Note. Tickets are $35 a piece, and that's one of the very few venues where you can get alcohol at my shows, so there's that. And then we also have a Halloween show planned at the Blue Note. That's October 30th, the day before Halloween, so that'll be fun. So keep that in mind. Check with the BlueNote.com. They should be posting that link any minute. And as soon as they get it to me, I'll post it too. Okay. I was going to ask about having, nope, we already answered that one. We're good there. Okay. I think we're good. I think we got all the questions. And they're right. There is no such thing as a coincidence. I love that, whoever posted that. Okay, so I'm going to go get my babies. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. I do have one very exciting thing, excuse me. One very exciting thing getting ready to come up soon. I would be watching my page in the next two or 3 days. It'll be up. It should be up by this Friday, if not before. And it is the video of a reading of 2 really awesome rad chicks. And that will be the first time that we've been able to post a video. So of me reading. So I'm super excited for people to see that and to see if my reading style is something that you're interested in, and also because we'll kind of be getting a story out there with this reading, and so that's kind of important. So yeah, stay tuned. I love you, and I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of the week. All right, I'm out of here. Bye-bye.